What is up, YouTube? It is the Ville Outdoors here. Today is August 25th of 2020. We are back at the Perkiomen Creek with another video. You guys have probably seen this spot in not my last video, but the video before that. I was actually doing a multi-species fishing session here. I ended up catching two new species, the shield darter and the satinfin shiner. But today we are going to be doing a creek fishing tutorial, or creek fishing 101, and I will be showing you guys how I fish creeks, what to look for, how to catch fish, all that good stuff. And our main target today is going to be smallmouth and largemouth bass, so hopefully we can get some of those guys to show up. We just gotta hope our luck is good today, and we'll see what we can come up with. Right now I got on a Finesse TRD by Z-Man. This is in bug color, and I got that on my medium light rod, Ugly Stik Gx2 6 foot, and then on there I got a Daiwa Ninja 2000 LT reel and 4-pound test monofilament. So pretty lightweight for fishing for bass, but bass I've caught out of here before aren't huge, so I wanted to go a little bit smaller than what I usually fish with when I'm going bass fishing. So obviously this creek, it's pretty big, as you can see. Right down there it opens up to the Schuylkill River. Pretty shortly we're going to be walking back towards the bridge, and right now I'm just wading through the creek. I'm about knee deep in the water somewhere. The blue sky breeze blowing wind through my hair. But anyway, we're looking for structure. So I got these polarized lenses on right here, and those are going to help me see through the surface of the water. It helps take the glare off. And we're just looking for any pieces of big structure, like big boulders or big tree branches, stuff like that that fish could be hiding on. And we're just going to cast this Finesse TRD down there, and it's going to stand up on its head, like just like that. And we're just going to bounce that along the bottom. Some people just drag it straight across the bottom, but you're going to actually get snagged a lot more doing it that way than you are just going to lightly bouncing it off the bottom. And we're just going to bounce it into rocks and stuff like that, because these fish will bite once that bait hits a surface. So like if I bump this into a rock, once that bait comes off that rock, the fish is going to strike. Alright guys, we made it to the bridge. Now we just got to see if there's any bass around that are hungry for the Ned rig. It's pretty darn deep right here, so there's a good chance that a fish could make his home here and hang out for quite a while, looking for food to pass by. It's all very possible. We just gotta hope we don't get snagged, because this is a very snaggy area. But part of creek fishing, to get to the good fish, you gotta fish in the snaggy areas, because the fish aren't just gonna be all out and about. They're gonna be in tight spaces. Well guys, I wasn't even fishing there for 5 minutes and I got snagged and broke my Ned rig off. I do see some sunfish around and some smaller bass, so we're going to switch to a smaller profile and see if we can come up with a fish. Alright guys, we switched it up. Got the little Panfish Assassin tied on right there. Might end up getting this snag too, so we'll see how long this lasts. But hopefully we can pick up some fish on this. Now this creek right here is a pretty shallow creek without too much structure in the open water. So you want to look for real deep holes next to like bridges or big rock pilings over here. stuff like that to find your fish, because once you find a good spot, the fish are most likely going to be stacked up in those deep holes. You won't find them out in the shallow water too much, because they want to find heavily structured spots where they can easily hunt and easily get away from bigger fish, because these fish are in to survive and they're not going to be doing too well out in the shallow water. Guys, we got a fish on. Let's hope this guy doesn't get off. There you go, guys. Woo! Took me a minute, but I finally got my first fish of the day, and it is a chunky little smallmouth bass. Hook just popped right out. Look at that, guys. Look at the belly on that guy. He's not long, but he is fat for sure. He's got a little plump belly on him. Nice fish. Let's go get a shot and release this guy. Alright guys, it's not the giant we hoped for, but it is a smallmouth. And there he goes, back to his hole. So that fish came right on the other side of that current right here. You see this current coming in from this other side, coming right into this deep spot. So the fish are gonna wait at the bottom of this deep hole right here, and they're gonna grab any food that floats over top of them. So what I did is I casted that little Panfish Assassin over to those rocks over there, drifted it through the current so it looked like it was coming from over here, and that smallmouth came right up out of the water column and grabbed that little Panfish Assassin. So our method did work. It wasn't a huge fish, but where there's one, there's probably more. So we're gonna give this a little bit longer, see if we can pull out some more fish. Another important trick when you're creek fishing is to wade into the creek to explore new spots. A lot of the creeks have already been fished by a lot of people. There aren't too many creeks that have not been fished, so a lot of these fish in these creeks have seen a variety of different lures and baits tossed out at them. So sometimes getting in the water and walking and exploring new fishing areas can help a ton, and you can catch a lot more fish that way. You can purchase a cheap pair of waders, and it's a great way to catch more fish. I personally don't use waders in the summer because water feels good when the air is hot. So I'm just wearing a Walmart pair of slides. They're about $5, and probably not the safest thing to wear, but works good for me. So right now I'm fishing this bridge right here, right under the bridge, right next to the wall, and there's a deep pocket right next to that wall, and these fish are going to be stacked up against that wall, or at least should be stacked up against the wall. You gotta get multiple casts from multiple different angles, because sometimes you can cast right over a fish and it won't take it, but if you come in at that fish at a different angle, that fish might strike. So that's what we're gonna do right here. Well guys, I just lost a little largemouth bass, except there is more over there, so we're gonna try and get him without getting snagged in the sticks. They're not huge, but they are bass. So let's see if we can get him to bite right here. He's going for it. He got it. No, he popped off. Dang it. All right, let's try that again. Oh, that's a bit better one. That might be a smallmouth. No, that one popped off too. Gosh, they're just loaded back here. All right, guys, there's a second bridge right up ahead. I'm gonna head over there and see if I can turn my luck around, because right now we've only caught one fish for the day and probably lost about 3. One nice smallmouth and 2 little largemouth. So let's see if we can change our luck at this bridge. Guys, there's absolutely massive carp in front of me. Absolutely huge. Easy 15 pounders. I don't know if you can see that, but there's one dead in front of my rod. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There was more than 4, but those are huge carp. The one's got to be close to 15, 20 pounds. That is a big fish. And it's just sitting right there at the surface. That is an insane fish. I think there might be another one up here. Might have to come back with the corn. Guys, we got a fish on. Smallmouth on, and there's bigger ones following it. There's bigger ones following the smallmouth I have on right now. A whole school of them. Oh my gosh. Let's get this guy up here. I might have found the new honey hole. That is a huge smallmouth right there. Look at that. Beautiful fish. I'll show you guys what I'm doing here in just a second. As soon as I release this guy, get a new battery in the GoPro, show you guys where these fish are coming from and how I just found this honey hole. Look at that. Beautiful. Alright guys, so we got current pulling down this way. There's a shallow area right where you see that current at. Right out in front of me, right at the end of my rod. There's a shallow area right there. It's causing riffles in the creek. And right in front of that is a big deep pocket on the other side, next to this bridge piling. And there's a big down tree over there, so it provides perfect structure for any predatory fish. So when these bait fish get washed down the creek, they get stuck here in this deep pocket. So the bass, or the smallmouth that I just caught, they'll also hang out in that same area. I just cast it down there, let it drift down a little bit, and I just had another bite. Another real strong hit. I don't know if he'll come back for it this time or not, but that was a real strong hit as soon as it hit the water. This might be the spot. Guys, we got another fish, but I don't think this is a smallmouth. You guys know this guy. That's a little green sunfish right there. Just barely hooked in the corner of the mouth. Let's go ahead and get him unhooked. Not the smallmouth I was looking for that time. There he is. All right, let's see if we can get another one of those bass, because there were some big ones over there. All right, let it drift down just a little bit. Twitch it off the bottom. I felt a little tap, but I don't think I reacted fast enough. Guys, we got a bigger smallmouth on right here. That's a bigger one for sure. Come on. We gotta land this guy. We gotta land him. He's jumping out of the water. Get him up, get him up. Yes! That is a big smallmouth. Big creek smallie right there. Oh, he just popped the line, he just popped the line. Come on, come on, come on. Relax, relax. Relax, John B. Look at that smallmouth right there, guys. Big old creek smallmouth, 4-pound test. Pop the line out. I probably should have played that fish a little bit better, but we landed him, and that's what matters. Let's get this hook out of his mouth so we can release him. After we get a quick shot, of course. Look at that chunky smallmouth bass right there. All right, let's get a shot and release this guy. Beautiful fish. Alright guys, here's our creek smallmouth. Absolutely gorgeous fish. Go ahead and revive him or her. Oh man, she is ready to go. Splashed me real good. What an awesome fish. Alright, well now we gotta retie and get back in there, because there is more fish to be caught out of this hole. Hopefully that one didn't spook the others, because there was 3 more following that one in. Absolutely crazy. We just caught another species for the day. We're up to 3 now. Yep. Nice little bluegill there. Not quite as impressive as that smallmouth we just caught, but yeah, we'll take it. Nice guy. See if we can get another big one before we head back. Oh, I just had a hit. Alright guys, we got another fish coming up. Looks like another species for the day. Got a little rock bass. Pretty little fish. Guess we'll take a shot of him. Alright guys, last look at our little rock bass. Send him back. Alright guys, that is going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and learned a little bit about creek fishing maybe. Hopefully I gave you some helpful tips and tricks to get you on some good creek fishing yourself. I'm happy I was able to catch that nice creek smallmouth for you guys there at the end. And we ended up finding a good spot right here. I will definitely be back to try some different tactics and maybe get an even bigger one than the one we caught earlier. I might stick around and do a bit more fishing, but I don't think it's going to get much better from what we just did. So I will see you guys on the next episode of the Ville Outdoors.